Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and now that my two obligatory informative videos are done for the day, actually what am I talking about? This isn't even current events. I just saw something come through my feed from 2 months ago from Nick's G for P. And you know, a lot of people have been saying, Jason, lately I know with you being more religious and everything, you've been really nice and polite to a lot of these people, but I'm not going to be polite to this little cocksucker. I'm really not, because I cannot stand professional bodybuilding. And this guy is basically a mouthpiece for the IFBB and this whole bodybuilding worship G4P lifestyle that he just glamorizes all day long on his channel. So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing. We're going to skill up my crafting a little bit and let's talk about this because, you know, Nick did a video and he was saying about, oh, there's all these changes in the IFBB. They're really moving towards more aesthetics, and Sean Roden is the most aesthetic, which means beautiful, by the way. What definition does anybody on that stage even look beautiful? I mean, let's set aside anything. I'm not even going to make jokes about sexuality. Let's not make any jokes about that. Let's assume that you're a person who finds the male body beautiful, right? I don't care whether it's a woman or a man or whatever else, right? You find it beautiful. In what world does anybody on that stage have anything resembling any sort of classic beauty or aesthetics? Not one of them, including this disgusting Sean Roden. I mean, the dude is disgusting. Objectively speaking, from any perspective of aesthetics or beauty, which is not even my thing, I don't care about that. This is not my world. I'm not a bodybuilder. I don't care about this. If I did, let me say this again, if I was into the aesthetics thing, I would say he's hideous. The dude is more hideous than even us strength athletes. Like everyone wants to say powerlifters look bad. He looks worse. Objectively speaking, when you look at what is considered to be aesthetic, right? You know, and he went on to say that, well, you know, the IFBB is really turning things around. They didn't give Phil Heath, the one who is, in my opinion, the most genetically gifted bodybuilder. You know, it's like, wow. You quit worshiping these guys, Nick. Jesus Christ, you don't even want to abuse drugs yourself. You don't want to blast a bunch of gear. Why are you worshiping guys who have revolting, nasty guts from the pounds and pounds of visceral fat from their insulin abuse and IGF-1 abuse, who are pumped full of so much oil and fake muscle? Like, well, why are you worshiping these guys? I don't get it. I don't get it, Nick. But the point is, makes this big deal that they didn't reward him because of his gut. So they're still giving awards to guys with guts. You know, it's kind of like, that's what I don't understand, is that he acts like there's some change. Like, Nick must be really new to this scene, because you know what? I remember 15 years ago, all the IFBB guys were saying, we're going to stop rewarding big, nasty roid guts, and we're going to stop rewarding sight enhancement, right? You know, Nick, back when you were like 8 years old, before you'd ever heard of bodybuilding, they were saying the same stuff. Now, if you step back and look at what's happening in this sport, this weird fetish beauty pageant, has nothing to do with performance or athleticism. Sean Roden still has a big, revolting, nasty roid gut. The dude has a massive waist. Like the fact that anybody who's even close to 10% body fat, let alone the body fats these guys get to, who has a waist that big, my waist measures probably smaller than that, and that's scary. I'm at 17% body fat on my DEXA scan, right? I've got like a 35-inch waist, like with a tape. I'm not even close to 10% body fat. Hell, at 10%, my waist would probably be like 31, 32 inches. And I'm a strength athlete, I'm a power lifter, fat power lifter, right? The guy has an enormous waistline. He has a big, ugly roid gut. They're handing a win to a guy with a big, disgusting, nasty roid gut that if we were to do a DEXA scan of him, I bet you that guy's got 5 pounds of visceral fat in there. In other words, he's at risk of dying young because of his abuse of his body. Guy's got a revolting roid gut. It's just because it was smaller than Phil Heath, they're going to give him a win. Same thing, they talk about sight enhancement and synthol. The guy's delts are pumped full of oil. All right, there's probably a pint of oil in each one of those guys' delts. And I mean, you can look at that. Anyone who knows the human body, all right, it's not even saying, oh, you're assessing another man's body. No, I know basic anatomy. I know what a muscle looks like. I know what happens to muscles when they train. That's not muscle. That guy's delts are full of oil. Full of oil. Biceps got a lot of oil in it too. You know, and that's what I always laugh at. People are always like, well, these bodybuilders know so much about building, but they know so much about building biceps. Really? Because you go look at the research on bicep training, and what we find is that curls don't even work that well, to be honest. Yeah, these guys do tons and tons of curls, but they use massive amounts of drugs, which make you grow without even training. And yet every one of them have to pump their biceps full of oil. If they knew so damn much about training, why are they all putting, 20, 30 milliliters of oil into their biceps, trying to make them bigger? Maybe they should learn how to actually train. I don't know, because you would think with the amount of drugs these guys are using that they would have enormous biceps without injecting tons of stuff into them, but they don't seem to be able to do that. But yeah, you look at it and you see that, but then you look at the guy's shoulders. That guy's delts are full of oil. So this whole IFBB is suddenly magically changing. They were saying this same crap 15 years ago. We're going to stop rewarding big revolting guts. We're going to stop rewarding synthol and site enhancement. And they're still handing Mr. Olympias to guys with a pint of oil in their delts, with 36, 37-inch waistlines who are under 10% body fat. Like, how has this ever changed? Never changed. Oh, because Phil looks like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, that they reward the guy who has a gut half the size of his and then claim that they're making these big changes. Bullshit. Bullshit. I don't know, man. If these guys want to talk about any sort of classic aesthetics, they need to stop rewarding guys who have waists over about, 31 inches, right? That should be your cutoff. Go wrap a tape around their waistline, and if their waist measures 32 or higher, don't let them compete, right? Just kick them out. Take their pro card away. Don't let them compete. That would resolve the problem. But it kind of comes back to the whole point. Bodybuilding is hardcore bodybuilding is a degenerate lifestyle based around destroying your health, massive drug abuse, not just anabolic, but recreational drug use, selling your body. It's a degenerate lifestyle. It's a degenerate lifestyle. And no, I don't think very highly of Nick for supporting it. I don't think very highly of it. And I've already seen the sort of person he is. I mean, people are like, Nick's a nice guy. No, he's not a nice guy. Nick pretends to be a nice guy while he worships bodybuilding. He's not a good person. I've already seen the way he behaved with that Artemis Dolan thing. Nick is a snake in the grass. He is a snake in the grass. He's not a good person. And here he is continuing to prop this stuff up. And that's the worst part. He actually is just, again, another mouthpiece for the IFBB. One of these guys who's standing there saying, well, the IFBB says they've done this, and see, here's the proof. They've been claiming it since before you ever heard of bodybuilding. This exact same nonsense claim. And guess what? Guess what? Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. I don't know, man. If they want to talk about aesthetics, why don't they reward another Frank Zane-like physique? There you go. Because even their whole classic bodybuilding thing they're doing, those guys are still disgusting roid freaks. Those guys don't even have the classic gold era look. If they want to say, hey, we want to reward a classic physique look, we want to reward stuff that looks like maybe the golden era guys, then start rewarding guys who look like that instead of guys who don't. It's pretty straightforward. You know what? Bodybuilding would actually be more popular and be more marketable if the guys actually did look good. You know, that's the whole point. The bodybuilders jump up and say, well, you don't look good or this looks good. It's like, no, it doesn't look good. It doesn't matter that I don't have the golden era look. None of those guys are any closer to it than I am. I'm just as close to that look as these guys winning the Mr. Olympia are. That's what's scary. And I'm not even close. So that should tell you something. Neither are they. Neither are they. And they've been claiming this for 15, 20 years, that they're going to stop rewarding this, and they keep rewarding it all the time. It's never going to change. It's not going to change because they're not interested in it. They're running a freak show. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.